Now let's explore lambda functions, also known as anonymous or one-line functions. They might look simple, but they are super useful when you understand how and when to use them. So let's go step by step. So the first question is, what is a lambda function? A lambda function is a small anonymous function. It can take any number of arguments but can only have one expression. It is useful for short, simple tasks without needing a full def block. The syntax of a lambda function is, first we write the lambda keyword, then we give the arguments, then colon sign, and then the expression. It automatically returns the result of the expression. For example, we can have an anonymous function called add, then we can write equal, and we're gonna write the lambda keyword, and we want two arguments. First we need the argument a, then the argument b, then we give the colon sign and the expression like a plus b. The expression result will be automatically returned. So now we can write the print statement and call the add function, and let's say we want to know the result of the addition 5 and 3. If I run the code, you'll see it prints 8. So here this lambda function defines two input arguments a and b, and a plus b is the expression being returned. And this function call add 5, 3 behaves just like a normal function call. Now we can use a lambda function inside a map function as well. So lambda inside map. Let's say we have a list called numbers which holds values like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's take a variable called squared and let's call the list method, and inside that let's call the map method as well, and inside the parentheses we are gonna write the lambda function. So I'm gonna write the lambda keyword, then we want one parameter and that is x. After having the parameter we give the colon sign and then we write the expression which will be returned. For example, we want the square value of x, so we're gonna write x into x, and we can give comma, and for the second argument of the map we're gonna pass the numbers list. Now if I write the print statement and pass the squared variable and run the code, you will see it prints the square values of these numbers. So as you can see, 1, 4, 9, 16, and 25. So behind the scenes, map applies the lambda function to each item in the list, and lambda x colon x star x squares each number. Now we can use lambda function inside a filter method as well. So lambda inside filter. Let's say we have a list called nums, and there we have values like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we want the even numbers, so we have to filter them to get only the even numbers. So I'm gonna have a variable called even, and let's call the list method. Inside that let's call the filter function, and in between parentheses I'm gonna write the lambda keyword, then I want one variable x, means one parameter x, then I will do a mod, so x mod 2, and I want to return that number if that mod result is equal to 0. And to this filter method I have to provide the nums. Now if I write the print statement and pass even and run the code, I will see it just prints the even numbers 2, 4, and 6. It does not print the odd numbers. So the filter returns only items for which lambda returns true, means if this logic is true, then it should return the number from this nums list. Now we can use lambda function inside sorted method with custom key. So inside sorted method with custom key method, let's say I have a list called names, and there I have values like Naruto, then Kazi, then Ichigo, and then Gojo. Now let's take another variable called sorted underscore names equal, and we call the sorted method and pass names there. And for the key, we are going to define a lambda function. So I'm going to write the lambda keyword, and I want the name parameter, and I'm going to pass name inside the len method. So it will pass the length of each string, means each name, to this len function, and it will sort with that length, because this lambda will return each name's length as key to this sorted method. So now if I run the code, you will see nothing because I haven't printed them. So I'm going to write the print statement and pass sorted names. Now if I run the code, you'll see it prints Kazi, Gojo. So Kazi is at the first place because it has only 4 letters. Gojo also has 4 letters. By the way, Naruto has 6 letters, and Ichigo also has 6 letters. So it sorted them because Kazi was at the first place. That's why even Gojo has 4 letters as well. Kazi is at the first position. So I hope you understood how the sorting happening behind the scene. So here we are sorting the list based on the length of names using the len method inside a lambda. So now the question arises when to use lambda functions. We use lambda functions when we need a short function used only once, or let's say we want to use them, or let's say we want to use a function inside method, filter, or sorted, or similar functions, and whenever we want a cleaner and compact code. Now when to avoid a lambda function. So if a function has multiple lines or logic, then we should avoid lambda functions. And when we want to make the code more readable and maintainable. So if I write a regular function with the def key, for example double the function name, and we want the x as parameter, and we want to return x into 2. Now we can achieve this using the lambda function as well. So if I write double here, then equal, and if I write the lambda keyword, then x parameter, then I want to write the expression x star 2. Okay, so we have redeclared the function. So let's call this double 2. So this function name and this function name is different now. But if I call both of them inside the print statement, if I call double function with the argument 4, and if I call the double 2 function with the 4 as well as argument, if I run the code, you will see both prints the same output, because at the end of the day they are both doing same task. But again, when you want to make the code more readable, use this approach, and when you want to make your code compact, use this approach. So that's all for this video. See you in the next one.